Hi team, in this video I want to talk about how to manage the feelings that we have when we might have caused somebody else some discomfort, when we might have upset another person, because I have videos on what to do when we're the person that's been triggered by somebody. This will be my first video on what to do when we're actually that person that potentially has triggered somebody else, and we are aware that we've made a mistake and we begin to feel a lot of activation in our system as we move towards resolving and repairing that situation and that relationship. This is something that happened to me yesterday, where I made a joke with a friend that didn't land very well, and even though the conversation moved on really quick and everything was fine, and we spent another 30 minutes together after that and there were no problems, when I left that coffee that I went for with them, I still felt a lot of discomfort in my nervous system from what had happened, from that micro moment of uncomfortableness that I had brought into the connection. And I want to talk about that. I want to talk about what I did yesterday in those moments and to manage that, and what I reflected on. If you're new to my channel, my name is Donna Louise, and I help people that have experienced trauma and also that have got a dysregulated nervous system to get out of survival mode, to restore their nervous system and to reconnect with themselves. In this video, I'm going to be talking a little bit about relational trauma, which is something that I experienced and that I still have some activation from in my system, which is what allows me to talk about this event yesterday and what I did moving forward from that. However, if you are someone that has experienced relational trauma, I want to invite you to remember that just by listening to this video and what I'm going to talk about, even though I'm not going to go into any great details about anything, it might create some activation in your system. So please check in and see if you have the capacity to watch this video right now. And remember that you can press pause and come back to it at any time. So yesterday, I was with my friend and I made this joke which I'd made with another friend earlier on in the week, which had gone down a storm and then went down not very well yesterday with my friend. And as I was walking home, I realized that I felt really uncomfortable about what I'd said and about how I'd seen my friend respond to that. It made me feel a little bit sad. And I was walking home and I felt some panic in my chest and I felt some tension in my body, and I was like, oh, you know, should I apologize? Shall I go back? Shall I send a text? Should I do nothing? Am I overthinking it? And then I was like, okay, I'm having these thoughts and I'm feeling these feelings. What I need to do, first of all, give myself some space and grace to respond instead of react. So I got home and I was able to lay on the bed and do some comfortable breathing and just allow myself to feel the sensations that I was feeling. And in that moment, I also realized that the feelings that I was having was disproportionate to the event that had taken place. And much of that is because, as someone that has experienced relational trauma in the past, whenever there was moments of discomfort or something that was said that that other person didn't like, this often resulted in me being rejected. It felt like I was going to lose that connection, and I felt like the relationship could end at any moment. There wasn't any safety in these other relationships that I had, and I was aware that that was being activated in my system in this moment. And I put my hand on my heart and allowed myself just to acknowledge that. I then stood up and I did a little bit of gentle shaking. This is because often when we allow ourselves to feel our feelings and to feel the sensations that I was feeling, which was a bit of anxiety yesterday and essentially a bit of fear about, did I really upset my friend? And, you know, was this going to be a deal breaker? And I felt a bit of fear around, like, if everything was going to be okay. And when I allowed myself to feel those feelings, some cortisol was released in my system. Sometimes feeling our feelings doesn't make things feel that much better. We can feel more cortisol release from our body. So if that happens with you, then allow yourself to do some stretching, sometimes I do a round of squats or go for a brisk walk, or in this case, I did a little bit of somatic shaking for just a couple of minutes. And then I decided that the best thing for me to do, what felt right for me to do, was to send a quick, short text message that apologized. And then I had to sit with the discomfort of waiting for a reply or wondering if I was going to get a reply. And I had to allow myself to support myself and be compassionate with myself about the fact that it's okay to feel embarrassed. It was okay to have a bit of regret. It's okay to sit in the discomfort. I'm learning something about myself in these moments. I'm learning something about how important that friendship is to me as well. And ultimately what I was learning about myself was how far I've actually come in restoring and repairing my nervous system since I had those traumatic relationships in my life in the past. Because it's not a bad sign that I felt some anxiety. Your nervous system should be flexible. Your nervous system isn't always, a regulated nervous system shouldn't always be calm and peaceful. It needs to be flexible. You need to be able to ride the waves of life. And it's not bad that I felt a little bit of anxiety about the mistake I made. I know that the joke that I made didn't land well with my friend, and I didn't like that. Therefore, I could acknowledge with myself, like, oh, I kind of wish I'd not done that. And it's okay for me to feel these different emotions and sensations in my nervous system. It shows me that I'm not a robot and that I am alive and that I've got a full range of feelings and that this person is important to me. And so that allowed, what I did was I allowed myself to feel the uncomfortableness of it all without collapsing into feelings of shame and guilt, which is something I used to do in the past. Instead of it being about, oh, I wish I'd not done that thing, I make it about that I'm a bad person, that I have, I'm a really bad person. Why would they want to be friends with me? When am I ever going to learn? Why have I not made all of these improvements? And I would be really criticizing and judging myself and treating myself in a not very kind way at all. And that didn't happen yesterday. I was able to be like, that was a little mistake. That was a little bit of a poor moment. And I'm okay. I've sent this text message to apologize to my friend without making it a huge thing. And I know that I've done the right thing by the way that I've handled this situation for this relationship. And whatever my friend comes back with, I will be able to handle it. I'm capable of handling it now. And that was a really big lesson for me yesterday, to recognize that I can do that. I get back from my friend and they were like, no worries, we're all good, it's fine, see you tomorrow, don't worry about it, or something like that, which put a smile on my face and also made me realize that since I have healed and been on this healing journey to restore my nervous system, that I've made different friendships that are also safe now. And that was really nice to receive that message. And it did make me feel some additional relief, but I wasn't relying on that other person to make me feel better. I had created the space and allowed myself to respond instead of react, and to connect with myself and not suppress or repress what I was feeling around it, and to create that safety for myself to move forward with how I was going to respond to the event. And that felt really good. And I want to just extend this invitation to you that if you are someone that has experienced relational trauma and you can easily feel activated by situations like this and you want support with that, I help people like you also. So please take a look at the link in the description below this video, and feel free to reach out to me to have a free consultation call to see if we're a good fit for working together. If you've got any thoughts, any questions, any concerns about this video, please pop them in the comments section below. I'd love to hear from you. And if you've liked this video and you think it might be good for somebody else to see, consider sharing it and subscribing to the channel. Until the next time, thank you for watching and take very good care.